This is Mercy Pilkington at Digital Book World 2013 for Good e-Reader, talking right now to Seth Kaufman from Copia. First, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Copia does, what the platform itself is capable of?
Okay. Copia was conceived of as a social uh, e-reading platform. So what we do is we sell ebooks, all kinds of ebooks from all kinds of publishers, and we were conceived of as an app so that we have a free e-reading app, and when you buy books from us, you can use the device you have, whether it's an iPad, a desktop reader, an Android device. And so we don't want you to have to buy a special dedicated thing just for us. And we also were conceived of as a white label platform, meaning that there are stores and retailers and organizations and charities that might want to sell ebooks themselves, but to gather all the ebooks in the world is a huge task, and so that's what we do. We facilitate that as well. So we have this year we are launching the Australian Publishers Association's ebook platform, which will allow any book vendor in Australia to have their own branded website and sell books, so you can support your local bookstore there. And that's a big that's that's really one of our bigger stories this year. We also are working with Santillana, which in Spain, one of the biggest educational publishers in the world, and so we've built a site for them. We are currently have about 1,000 college campus ebook stores, because they obviously your campus bookstore, if you remember, is a small affair, and how can they possibly sell ebooks? So we work with them and provide ebooks and another avenue for their students to consume. One of the great things about Copia, and something I'm proudest of, is our ebooks are really the only ebooks out there that allow you to annotate and share your notes. So this year we have had we recently had we've had some best-selling authors come and annotate their books. They added their own comments, and so it becomes almost like a director's cut in a DVD. So that's been some added value that our books give, and it also is, I think, working really well in the academic forum. A class can read together, form a group, and then they can have a discussion in the margins of their ebook. So, or you could ask questions and say, I don't understand this mathematical problem in my math textbook. Can somebody look at what I've got? Can somebody help me, show me where I'm going wrong? Lots of the different avenues for that. So our new app literally lets you have a whole conversation within a thread. So you could make a note, and that note could generate dozens of responses and have a whole discussion. And I think that's what have I left out? I don't know.
Well, you did mention the expansion with Australia and with Spain specifically, and what we're hearing so much this year is about globalization, how not just the platforms but even the publishers themselves have got to get the ball rolling with expanding into these markets where there are readers waiting for quality content, especially digital content. So basically with those two countries, what else does Copia have in store, and what are some considerations you have to keep in mind when expanding?
We have some very big global plans, which I unfortunately cannot announce yet. But it's coming soon. We are working with a telecom in Asia to deliver books to subscribers of a phone company. We believe that that the world and the publishing world wants other alternatives than Amazon, and we are here to offer that. And we think that there are definitely book chains throughout the world where they will need help, and we're here to hopefully give it to them, to anybody who wants it, and also to fundraisers and charities and things like that. We think that there's a huge opportunity and a huge it's something that would help. If it helps raise funds for good causes, then why wouldn't you buy a book to support your church or your favorite charity or the wildlife fund or something like that. So we think that there's a whole upside there as well. So and in terms of globalization, clearly devices are getting cheaper. The world is getting more and more wired, and so yes, I think these markets. It's an interesting question. Shipping books to places in the Pacific Rim is incredibly expensive, right? So you have countries where English is spoken and they simply don't. They're just not going to get all the books, or previously they hadn't been able to get all these books, but now you can just send it through the air, and so there's very exciting opportunities here, and exciting for authors and readers and publishers and platforms like us.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Again, this is
Okay.
Mercy Pilkington for Good E-Reader at Digital Book World.